Hey there, moms and dads. I hope you've had a phenomenal week. Dr. Vicki tells me that of all the questions that she'll ask parents in her office, the one that stumps most of them is, how is your child allowed to show anger in your home? Anger is a difficult emotion to deal with, both as the angry person and as the recipient. Often, when children express anger, it can stir up anger within you as well. Then the tendency is to respond in anger rather than a calm, self-controlled fashion that can keep these confrontations from escalating. In fact, many parents respond in an immature fashion. You've probably seen parents begin acting like 10-year-old children right before your very eyes, as they're responding to their 10-year-old's anger. Of course, angry responses tend to simply escalate the child's anger, and then power struggles can emerge. Children express anger for a variety of reasons, and this can include things like defense against painful feelings. That could be disappointment, frustration, or sadness. They can have feelings of failure, and that can include decreases in self-esteem and feelings of isolation. They might have anxiety about situations that are out of their control. They might be sad or depressed. Children tend to act out their depression, in fact. Or they might just be frustrated for not getting their own way. Anger is a human emotion and one we all need to express appropriately. However, most children think it's not okay to be angry because if they get angry, they then get in trouble for being mad. Children may misbehave in expressing their anger by yelling, hitting, throwing things, and so on. Then, when they are reprimanded for this behavior, they see their punishment as an indication that they're not allowed to get angry. As parents, we tend to tell our children to use their words and then punish them for saying mean things. Things like, I hate you, or you're a mean mommy, or I wish I didn't have a brother. Please do not take your kids' words to heart and respond with hurt or anger. Their words are expressions of their anger, not a general threat or condemnation of you. And let's be honest, we'd all much rather that the kids express their anger rather than resort to physical aggression. And being devil's advocate, how many of us always express our anger in verbally appropriate ways? There are three major goals in managing your child's anger: accepting the feeling, addressing the inappropriate behavior, and then teaching appropriate ways of channeling their anger. It is imperative that we allow our children to express all of their feelings and teach them acceptable ways to show these feelings. A word of caution: parents tend to punish or reprimand the behavior, but forget to actually address the feeling causing it. Of course, angry behaviors absolutely need to be addressed. But perhaps the middle of an argument isn't really the proper time for that. In fact, dealing with the feelings first can even make the reprimand more effective later. And unless we explore the feeling behind the behavior, children will feel invalidated and not understand. Let's look at a simple example. How would you respond if your son storms through the door after school, throws his backpack across the room, stomps through the house, and then slams the bedroom door behind him? What would your initial reaction be? If you're like most parents, you'd be yelling for him to come back, pick up his backpack, and then reprimand for slamming the door. Now, those behaviors obviously need to be addressed. But his feelings would then be totally ignored if that was your response. Why is he so angry? Is it simple anger, frustration, embarrassment? Does he want some time to just be by himself? Or does he want you to come in so he has someone to vent to? You need to separate the inappropriate behavior from the normal feelings of anger. Teach that the feeling is okay, but the behavior wasn't. Saying something like, "Looks like you've had a bad day. Want to talk about it? Or simply leaving him alone for a while so that he can calm down in peace might be more helpful than immediately losing it over his admittedly inappropriate behavior. When the feeling is addressed, then it is certainly important to point out that it's okay to be mad, but it's not okay to slam the door or to throw your backpack. When you take this approach, the behavioral expression of anger can then be addressed calmly. Now, not only is it important to acknowledge the feeling and deal with the misbehavior, you then need to help your child find other ways that they can express their anger in your home. Children generally have less ability to control their behavior when angry, and then they generally have less acceptable outlets to release that anger. So what can you do? Here's where role modeling is very important. Model anger management, conflict resolution, etc., so that your children will have acceptable examples of how to effectively manage their anger. Additionally, you should provide acceptable outlets for your children to channel their anger and aggression. For children, it can actually be scary for them to feel out of control as they can get when they're angry. A great method for this is to set limits while simultaneously giving other options, such as, you can't hit your sister, but you can hit this pillow. Obviously, you can fill in the blanks with whatever makes sense for your home and the specific behaviors being addressed. For young children who need a physical outlet, try bop bags or pillows. Let them scribble mean pictures or play with toys that allow expressions of anger and aggression, things like soldiers or dinosaurs. As the kids get older, they might need a punching bag, or just leave them alone and so that they're allowed to just cool down and spend some quiet time alone in their room, or listen to music, go for a walk, shoot some hoops outside, hit some tennis balls, smash the like button, or call a friend. Of course, it is important that kids use their words, so it's important as well to decide what verbal expressions are tolerable in your home and define those for your kids. If something such as yelling or whining and crying isn't acceptable to you, then you can also encourage children to take these behaviors to their room if they feel the need to express them. As always, it is so much easier to react to misbehavior, so do not forget to look for and recognize and praise your children for their appropriate expressions of anger and their attempts to calm themselves down, even if they're not entirely successful. Tell them, I like how you handled that situation, or thank you for calming yourself down. These simple expressions are validating recognitions of your child's development of self-control and learning how to deal with his feelings in appropriate ways. Thank you so much for watching this video. For more tips and tricks for parenting of toddlers, teens, and in-betweens, check out our other videos over here or join our communities on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, enjoy your kids.